It's time once again for Uncle Matt's bedtime story.
Have you ever done that? Listen to inside a seashell? Do you ever hear anything different? I don't know if it'll work. I'm going to try to put it against the microphone here. I'm not sure if you heard anything or not. The book today that we're going to read, the story, is called Why Are You So Quiet? There's a picture of a girl here holding a seashell. This story was written by Jaclyn Desforges and illustrated by Risa, Hugo. Are you ready? Here we go. Myra Louise was a quiet girl who loved quiet places. She loved building forts in her room on rainy days. She loved listening to the crickets croon from her backyard tree at sunset. She loved the gentle hum of the dryers at the laundromat. In fact, Myra Louise loved quietness so much that even the loudest words she spoke came out slow and soft. And so everywhere Myra Louise went, people asked the same question, why are you so quiet? On the school bus, her classmate Jeremy sidled up to her and screeched it. When she didn't raise her hand in class, Mr. Bellman scrunched up his eyebrows and demanded it. And when she hid in her room to read while company was over, her mom opened the door and sighed it. Why are you so quiet? And Myra Louise didn't know quite how to answer. And so Myra Louise started to feel smaller and smaller. So she thought very hard because Myra Louise was a very good thinker. She thought if she could just find the answer to their question, everyone would finally understand. At the laundromat, Myra Louise sat next to the quietest dryer. She listened and thought for a long time. Then she whispered, "Dryer, why are you so quiet?" The dryer didn't answer, and she didn't think so anyway. The gentle sounds of tossing and tumbling were so muffled about that Myra Louise wasn't quite sure. And then, Myra Louise, she got an idea. She started collecting things, she noticed, because Myra Louise was a very good noticer. She collected copper wire and bits of string and lost buttons and tinfoil. She collected seashells and tiny stones and egg cartons and wool. And she started reading because Myra Louise was a very good reader. She read books about inventing and engineering and creating. She read books about machines and about tinkering and building. And she went to the garage, to the quietest place in the whole house. The hours fell away as she glued and fastened and hammered. Before she knew it, she had made a listening machine. Myra Louise beamed at her creation. A single earpiece poked out from a tangle of overlooked objects, all connected to a big red switch. Raindrops drummed softly against the roof. Myra Louise pulled on her raincoat and went outside. Then she switched on her listening machine, placed the earpiece against her ear, and whispered, "Raindrops, why are you so quiet?" The rain didn't answer, but its pitter-patter was so mesmerizing through the listening machine that she stood there peacefully for almost an hour. After the rain had passed, Myra Louise climbed up in her backyard elm tree and switched on her listening machine. Through the machine, the cricket's evening song was the most beautiful music her ears had ever heard. She didn't need an answer anymore. She just wished someone else could listen, too. Before bed, Myra Louise tiptoed back to the garage to make one slight adjustment. As Mum tucked her in, Myra Louise switched on her listening machine again. This time there were 2 earpieces. Even though Mum was yawning, the story she read sounded so magical to both of them that they decided to stay up late and read 2 extra chapters. The next day, Myra Louise brought her new and improved listening machine to school. At recess, she crouched down in the grass and listened to the sound of a ladybug fluttering her wings. Just then, her classmate, Jeremy, came up to her and hollered, "Why are you so quiet?" "Shh," Myra Louise said. "I'm listening." Then Jeremy crouched down to listen too. The end. That is what Myra Louise did. She invented a listening machine so other people could listen just as well as she could. That is all the time we have for Uncle Matt's bedtime story. I hope you enjoyed that story, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.